All right, so this game is very similar to musical chairs. The way it goes is like this. The person in the center will pose a question in this form. They will say, have you ever? And they will say, have you ever did something? Now, if I say, have you done something, as a person in the center, it means that I have also done that. Does that make sense? Okay.
Okay. Have you ever dated someone from a different race?
Hey man, y'all biting.
This is too much accent. Okay. African American.
Oh, we gotta say the race?
Yeah.
You don't have to. No, you
You don't have to.
Tell
You can if you
them.
want to.
That was a difficult one.
It stumped you, huh?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know who I dated.
Oh, no, they all look the same.
It was dark.
It was dark.
Crazy. Steady long, steady wrong.
Have you ever eaten pizza?
Have you ever been to jail?
I realized that everybody investigated the same thing. No matter what side, you on this side, that side, but still, human is still off. I never skinny dip, but it's the rest of the stuff. We all did the same. And they was honest about it. They moved.
Right. Okay. Everybody was up.
One of the final questions: how might it, we think about trying to make those build connections between policing and community? How might some of these lessons apply to that effort to try to build connections between policing and community?
Give respect and give respect.
Okay.
Doing the right thing.
Treat others like you want to be treated.
Yeah, I think you have to take down the wall of thinking that we're so different. Because the game was like, this is the first time I ever had fun with the police. Put it I mean, that's the bottom line. It's the first time. I wasn't either running away or something. Yeah, it's the first time. I ain't never had fun with the police. It's blowing my mind right now. I'm saying, wow. Yeah. Human, straight up human.
3 years ago, right? My little nephew, 19 years old, church boy, nerd. I'm talking about, go to church, he a straight nerd. Got killed by the Chicago police. And nothing was done about it. Officers back on duty, out on the street, out on patrol. They planted the gun on him. When my aunt came to the scene of the crime, right? The officers out there laughing, joking, smacking high fives. They planted the gun on him. They did the report 2 years ago. Well, a year ago, it was finally. But she didn't want to press charges on the officer or really pursue it, the criminal part of it, because they told her she was gonna have to go through a trial, and during the trial she was gonna have to sit there and look at the body. I was talking about she really flaky now. Her name Pedro Gonzalez. Since I used to get stopped by the police every day, all day, get harassed by the police. And that was because as soon as they pull off, I'm right back on that same corner. And I ain't used to understand that. But now, like she say though, I don't even, when I see the police now, I used to get, back then, I used to get nervous. And then they used to look at me and just say, oh, he doing something.
Dirty.
Right. So they'll pull me over. But now, it's like, I still dress, some days I dress the same as I used to. I ain't never wear my pants down, but I still wear the shirt, the pants, the gym shoes. And I see the police now, they don't even look my way. Yeah. And I used to be like, man, I want some attention from them. You know what I'm saying? I want them to stop me because I know I ain't did nothing, but they won't stop me. But like she say though, when you change though, I don't mind seeing them now. I'd be happy to see them, especially when I'm walking past and I see a group of young men sitting out there and I know what they out there on. I don't be wanting to cross the street because I don't be wanting oh, he's scared or something. But I'd be happy to see the officers now though, And, I thank y'all for coming out. At first I didn't want to sit here with y'all, because of prejudice, but I mean, I have to, it's not you guys. You know, because I think it is a wonderful thing that y'all are taking the time to come and talk to us. You know, because y'all don't have to do that. But y'all can just still keep that attitude of, you know, let them do them, you know, these ex-offenders or whatever, you know, so we don't really care about them. You know, we ain't got to prove nothing to them. But y'all actually sitting here listening, and I appreciate that. And I just on another note too, you know, I know I've done a lot of things. But even though I know deep down I'm not that person. I'm not that person that my rap sheet shows. You know, I'm still a father. I'm still an uncle. I'm still somebody's son. You know, and I'm still a good person, and I know that. And me, myself, I want to go back to school because I was on drugs a lot. You know, my goal is, I'm going back to school. I actually enrolled in Harold Washington now to go back to get my degree in addictive studies. You know, because I want to help people too. And I want to have a relationship with the police to where I can actually help. You know, because a lot of the things that a lot of people, I know y'all probably aware of this too, is that a lot of the crimes that's being committed is because of drugs and alcohol. 90% of the people that get locked up are either on drugs, in the process of trying to get some, high off drugs still, you know, or coming down off of it. You know, so in one way or another, alcohol affects almost, or they out there selling drugs. You know, but it affects everybody. And I used to just think that, you know, by me getting high, I'm not hurting nobody. You know, I'm selling drugs, but I'm not hurting nobody.
Okay, you ain't killing nobody.
Right. These people, I'm actually doing the community a service. Because they're going to go to somebody else anyway. They still going to do it. So, you know, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? That should be my own thing.
I thought that too.
You know, that twisted concept that I'm not hurting nobody. But actually I am. You know, I'm hurting the community. You know, I'm hurting the old lady. And then I can say, even though I can say too, in another sense, this is a victimless crime, selling drugs. You know, because I'm only seeing it one way. They coming to me, I'm giving it to them, and they leaving. But I ain't looking at the point that where they getting this money from.
They ain't taking care of the kids.
Who they give
Right.
the drugs
They
to?
ain't paying
Somebody's
the kids no attention.
Right, somebody
They
kids
stealing.
somebody kids not gonna eat today because of that $20 or $30
They gonna be so high they can't even pay attention to their kids.
right. Or somebody
All
gonna
that.
be so high off drugs they gonna go home and beat their child. Or they gonna molest somebody. Or anything can happen once you get on the drugs and alcohol. You know, so I'm actually, and somebody mama gonna get robbed. It might be my mama. My mama on her way home. You know, all police. Because my cousin is chief of police down south. And I sit there and have a conversation with him, right? And I look at him as a human being. But I look at the officers, you know, as bad versus evil. You know, and I usually look at them as they the bad, I mean, they the evil. You know, but all the while I was doing the wrong thing.
Oh, what I wanted to say was, I thank God the police harassed my sons because it made them get their life together because they was hanging with the wrong people, and each time they walking around getting a phone call, well, I'm locked up for what? Standing on the corner. You should have been in school. Standing on the corner for it. But by them just harassing them every day, and like I told them, the black hoodie, yeah, you standing on the corner in daylight, a hoodie on your head, school time, why are you standing outside? But I want to thank the police officers because y'all doing a great job to me.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, so I feel safe today. Because you know
That's what you supposed to do, help the community. Because if it wasn't no police to help nothing, it'll really be crazy.
That's like that new movie.
So it got to be somebody to help something. Now everybody on y'all side ain't gonna be good. Everybody on our side ain't gonna be bad or good. That's just how it is. We human because we just human. And that's just how it goes.
I be hearing like, you know, it's a certain quota, like you gotta arrest a certain amount of people in a day. But I don't know if that's true or not. Is that true?
No,
So
no.
the next question I have is about the stuff being planted on people out here in the street. I'm saying, do y'all even think about what we finna have to go through just because y'all planted this on us? The court system, the stress we gotta put on our family, the process of getting out of jail, then trying to reintegrate ourselves into society, all because we just weren't listening to you and you wanted to teach us a lesson.
Hearing that side of the story, do we think about what happens afterwards? I mean, that's powerful in itself.
You knew your job was, when you got hired as a police officer, was to do right by all means, whether it's telling your partner or anybody out there in the streets. You get paid to do that, to be right all the time, to uphold the law. Us, on the other hand, when we tell, we die. Period. So what you said to me, what you just said, that was bullshit to me. You got to worry about this, that, and the other. That's your job, to uphold the law. Whether it's against your partner, against his partner, or against one of us out in the street.
my son plays in that spot. If I allow prostitution on that block, it's going to bring an element. I don't want my kids exposed to it. And so then I can't, other people doing it, but I can't live on a block in a neighborhood where you got drugs, bitches been openly sold. Now what they do at 3 in the morning if I'm not there, if we have a calling tree in my neighborhood. It goes like this. Somebody called me, I call somebody. Or we call the police all at the same time and reporting an activity. And so, but the reason why I do is because I want my children in my neighborhood to be raised in a community like they are raised in Ridgeland, what's that place where Michael Jordan lived? Highland Park. And I rode my bike, I did a 50-mile ride from Evanston toward the end of the summer, up in Highland Park. And those are kids out there just playing with no kind of concern, man.
And why do you
I'm like, you know something? Because they get involved. They get involved. And so then for me, and I think for all of us, that's what we want for our kids. I mean, you want your son, I'm assuming, you want your son to be able to play outside without fear of being shot. Yeah. You want your kids, you want your kids to be able to have a slumber party at your house without saying, oh, I'm going to that neighborhood. But to have that kind of community, it costs. It costs. It costs involvement. It costs sacrifice. It costs saying, you know something? When I see the stuff taking place, I can't wait until the stuff kind of takes hold, because you know how it goes, man. Y'all know. Yeah. We do a little testing of some waters, check new territory, see who's going to do what. Then if you got people calling, you go get them up out of there.
It was challenging knowing that they were officers, and when they came in here, I saw them as officers. But when I interacted with them and we got to know each other, I saw them as people. You know what I'm saying? They communicated with us. They wasn't afraid to. They know we're ex-felons. Some of us, they wasn't afraid to touch my hand. They wasn't afraid to get close to me. They just didn't treat me like I was an ex-felon. Like I'm in the program. They treated me like I was a human being. I'm gonna be open-minded and know that I'm not going to hold every police officer accountable for what 1 or 2 bad police officers might have done or might have treated someone. Okay. I personally think it was a great experience. Man, if they could take back this and just change that from the inside out, one person, if we could take back their stuff and just, for me, example, they changed my way of thinking. I got some things that I'm open-minded about. Hey, you know what? Maybe they ain't like that. Maybe because they told me to, treat them that, it's just, that's what I'm taking from it. I learned a lot today, and I hope they learned a lot too.
I learned that different people have different beliefs, and you have to respect their beliefs, because their beliefs not going to be yours, so y'all might not see that common ground. But if you listen to one another, maybe your belief can rub off on them, and they can take some of that and add it to them, or theirs can rub off on you, and it can add to you.
When you get people into the culture, they're able to change perceptions and behavior, and the light will shine on it, it'll be bright that everybody